Two mayors, two completely different approaches to running New York City. Eric Adams came in with swagger, street credibility, and a promise to bring back the New York everyone remembered. Zohran Mamdani came in with executive orders, a progressive agenda, and a promise to change the New York everyone knew. One spent 100 days building momentum. The other spent 7 days signing papers. And here is the question that divides this entire city. Which approach actually works? The visible action or the policy tsunami? The photo ops or the paperwork? Because depending on who you voted for, you see this very differently. If you voted for Adams, you see a mayor who is out there, in the subways, at crime scenes, meeting with Biden, doing things, taking action, not hiding behind a desk. You see a mayor who wasted time on theater while rents kept rising and nothing actually changed. But if you voted for Mamdani, you see a mayor who signed 12 executive orders in 7 days. You see a radical moving so fast he is making enemies faster than he is making progress. So who is right? Let me give you what both of them actually did in their first month, and then you decide who had the better start. Well, Adams started his first day as mayor on a stage in Times Square at midnight, surrounded by the very people who would later be raided by the FBI. Cameras everywhere, lights, music, swagger. He promised to bring the city back. He promised safety. He promised results. And what did he actually do in month one? He called 911 from a subway platform for a photo op. He fired 1,430 city workers who refused vaccines. He cleared 300 homeless encampments in 3 months. And he spent the rest of his time doing press conferences, talking about what he would do, not what he was doing. Mamdani? No Times Square, no midnight show, no swagger. He walked into a Brooklyn apartment on Clarkson Avenue and signed 12 executive orders in his first week. 12. Adams took months to hit that number, and every single one of Mamdani's orders did something real. So here is the question that should haunt every New Yorker who voted for Adams. Were you voting for a mayor, or were you voting for a performer? Because let me show you the difference. Adams' first month was about visibility. He wanted you to see him fighting crime, see him clearing homeless people, see him standing next to President Biden. Mamdani's first week was about disruption. He did not want you to see him. He wanted you to feel the landlords panicking, feel ICE getting banned from Rikers, feel the Jewish organizations losing their protections. One man gave you a show, the other gave you chaos. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Chaos might be exactly what this city needs. Let me explain what Adams actually accomplished in his first month. He brought back plainclothes cops, the same unit that was disbanded after George Floyd. He implemented zero tolerance for homeless people sleeping in subways. He fired over 1,400 workers during a staffing crisis. And then, a video leaked of him calling his colleagues crackers back in 2019. His approval rating started at 63%. 6 months later, 29%, the lowest in decades.
But housing? Nothing. Not one executive order about rent, not one policy about landlords, not one task force about construction. Nothing. He spent month one removing people from view, while the systems that created those problems kept running. Now look at Mamdani. First day in office, Executive Order 1. Revoke everything Adams signed after September 26, 2024. Why that date? Because that is when Adams was indicted. Mamdani did not just reject Adams' policies, he rejected Adams' entire post-indictment legacy. Erased it like it never existed. Then what? Executive Order 3. Revive the mayor's office to protect tenants. The office Adams defunded. Mamdani brought it back and appointed C. Weaver, one of the most controversial tenant advocates in the city. Landlords immediately started panicking. Good. That was the point. Executive Order 13. Ban ICE from entering city property without a judicial warrant. Not a federal warrant, a judicial warrant, which ICE almost never gets. Mamdani did not just reinforce sanctuary city status, He built a wall between NYC and Trump's deportation machine. But here's where it gets really interesting. Mamdani also revoked the IHRA antisemitism definition, the one that says criticizing Israel is anti-Semitic, the one Jewish organizations fought for years to implement. Day one. And when Jewish leaders accused him of fueling anti-Semitism, Mamdani said we must distinguish between anti-Semitism and criticism of Israel. Imagine Eric Adams saying that. You cannot, because Adams would never pick that fight. So let me ask you something. Is Mamdani braver than Adams, or is he just more reckless? Because here is what Adams understood. You cannot fight everyone at once. You pick your battles. You build coalitions. You make compromises. Adams fought crime. He fought homeless people. He fought unvaccinated workers, safe targets, popular fights. Mamdani, he is fighting landlords. He is fighting ICE. He is fighting the Jewish establishment. He is fighting Trump. He made every powerful interest group in New York his enemy in 7 days. That is either courage or suicide. And here is the part that should terrify you. Adams lasted 4 years. He got indicted, Trump dropped the charges, he walked away. His legacy? Erased by Mamdani in 1 week. Everything Adams built? Gone, like it never mattered. But will Mamdani even last 4 months? He has already declared war on half the city. Landlords are panicking. ICE is preparing retaliation. Jewish organizations are organizing opposition. Trump is watching. And Mamdani's rent freeze? Not coming until October, 8 months from now. So what happens in those 8 months? Does he survive long enough to implement it? Or does he get destroyed by the enemies he made in week 1? Here is the difference between Adams and Mamdani in one sentence. Adams wanted to look like he was fixing problems. Mamdani wants to break the systems that create them. Adams was a performer. Mamdani is a wrecking ball. But here's the question nobody wants to answer. What if breaking systems is not the same as fixing them? What if Mamdani tears down everything and has nothing to replace it with? What if his 12 executive orders in 7 days were just a faster version of Adams' failure? Adams started with 63% approval and ended at 26%. What does Mamdani start with? And where does he end? Because if speed was all that mattered, Adams would have succeeded. So why do we think Mamdani moving faster will end differently?
Look, if you're tired of watching politicians play games with your city, you're in the right place. We're covering every move, every fight, every lie they think we won't catch. Hit that subscribe button because New York deserves the truth, not the spin. And those videos on screen, they explain so much about what you just watched. Worth your time.
See you on the next one.